The day my father threw me out, he was wearing his favorite Rolex and that steel-grey Tom Ford suit that cost more than most people make in a month. I remember because the watch caught the sunlight when he pointed at the door, making it flash like a weapon. "Get out," he said, voice colder than I'd ever heard it. "You're no longer welcome in this house. My name is Scarlett." And that moment 5 years ago changed everything. Not just because I lost my family, but because it showed me exactly who they were. "Daddy, please," I'd begged, hating how small my voice sounded. "Just listen to what I'm trying to do. These women need help." "What they need," my mother cut in, her perfect red lips curling in disgust, "is to stop looking for handouts. Really, Scarlett, a women's shelter. We raised you better than this bleeding heart nonsense." My brother Wade lounged against the mahogany doorframe, smirking. "Face it, sis. You're just not Burke material." I straightened my spine, feeling something harden inside me. "You're right, I'm better." The slap came fast, my father's hand across my face. The Rolex left a small cut on my cheek. "You ungrateful little—" He caught himself, smoothing his tie. "You have a choice. Join the company properly, or leave. Now." I touched my cheek, tasting copper. Some choice. That was the last thing I said to them. I walked out with nothing but my car keys and the clothes on my back. They froze my accounts before I reached the highway. "Ms. Burke?" A soft knock pulls me from the memory. "The grant committee is here." I blink, focusing on Iris's concerned face in my office doorway. She's come so far from the terrified woman who stumbled into Havenwood 2 years ago, barely able to meet anyone's eyes. "Thanks, Iris. And please, it's still Scarlett." Standing, I straighten my blazer and check my reflection in the window. The cut on my cheek left a tiny scar, barely visible unless you know where to look. Like everything else from that day, I wear it as a badge of honor now. Havenwood has grown beyond my wildest dreams. What started in a run-down building with 4 beds has become a beacon of hope for hundreds of women. Today's grant will help us open a second location across town. Ready to dazzle them? Nadine appears, tablet in hand. My right-hand woman since day one, she's the only person who knows the full story of my exile. The numbers look amazing, and our success rate— A commotion in the lobby cuts her off. Raised voices, the click of expensive shoes on tile. "Sir, you can't just—" "I'm here to see my daughter." My blood freezes. That voice. 5 years, and it still hits like a physical blow. Nadine grabs my arm. "Scarlett, don't. I'll call security." But I'm already moving. In the lobby, my father stands like a storm cloud in another expensive suit, his hair grayer than I remember, but his stance just as imperial. The Rolex glints on his wrist, the same one. Our eyes meet. His face does something complicated, pride warring with desperation. "Scarlett," he says, softer than that day but still with steel underneath. "We need to talk." Behind him, I see the grant committee arriving, looking confused at the scene unfolding. Everything I've built hangs in the balance of how I handle the next few moments. I smile, and it feels like baring teeth. "Welcome to Havenwood, Father. I assume you're here because you need something?" His jaw tightens. For a moment, I see fury flash in his eyes, the same look he had when he struck me. But then something breaks. His shoulders sag, just slightly. "Yes," he says, and the word sounds like it's being torn from him. "I need your help." 5 years ago, those words would have melted me. Now they taste like victory. "Well then," I say, gesturing to my office. "Let's talk about exactly what that's going to cost you." "Our PR is in shambles," my father says, pacing my office like a caged lion. "The media's having a field day with those factory conditions in Malaysia. Investors are pulling out. Your mother can't even show her face at the country club anymore." I lean back in my chair, savoring each word like fine wine. How terrible for her. He stops pacing, fixing me with that steel-grey stare that used to make me shrink. "Don't be petty, Scarlett. This is serious. Serious enough to visit your disgrace of a daughter." I gesture around my office. in her little charity project. His jaw works. Outside, I can hear Nadine smoothly redirecting the grant committee to the conference room, buying me time. She's worth her weight in gold. We need... He practically chokes on the words. We need Havenwood's reputation, a partnership, show the world that Burke Holdings cares about social causes. I laugh. I can't help it. You want to use my shelter, the one you called a waste of privilege, to sanitize your image? It would benefit both of us, the funding we could provide. I just secured a 7-figure grant, I cut in, without selling my soul. He slams his hand on my desk. Damn it, Scarlett. This isn't a game. The company's bleeding. Your brother's solutions aren't working. We need... You need me. I stand slowly, planting both hands on the desk. Say it. His face reddens. This attitude is exactly why... Say it. The silence stretches like a rubber band about to snap. Finally, he deflates. We need you, he whispers. I sit back down, crossing my legs. I'll consider it, on one condition. Name it. Family meeting, here at Havenwood. Mother, Wade, everyone. I want them to see exactly what their bleeding heart built. He starts to object, but I hold up my hand. That's my only offer. Take it or leave it. After he leaves, Nadine bursts in. Are you insane? Those people can't come here. They'll try to take over or sabotage us or... They're desperate, I say, pulling up my email. Desperate people make mistakes. This isn't like you, she says softly. You're enjoying their pain. I pause, fingers hovering over the keyboard. You weren't there, Nadine. The things they said did... They didn't just throw me out. They tried to destroy me. And now you want to destroy them? No. I smile, remembering Wade's smirk, my mother's disgust, my father's hand across my face. I want them to crawl. The family meeting is set for Friday. Mother arrives first, dressed like she's attending a society lunch. Her eyes dart around the shelter's lobby, probably calculating how much it would cost to improve the place. Darling, she air kisses near my cheek. What a unique space you've created. Wade swaggers in next, followed by father. They all sit stiffly on our well-worn couch, looking like exotic birds that landed in a public park by mistake. Before we discuss any partnership, I begin, I want you to meet someone. I gesture to Iris, who steps forward. Her hands shake slightly, but her voice is strong. 6 months ago, I fled my abusive husband with nothing but my purse. He was a contractor for Burke Holdings. When I reported his behavior to HR, they buried it, said it would damage the company's reputation. She looks directly at Wade. You signed off on that decision personally. Wade shifts uncomfortably. Mother's perfect smile cracks slightly. Havenwood saved my life, Iris continues. Gave me purpose, dignity, a future. That's what Scarlett built, while you were building profit margins on broken lives. I stand. If you want my help, here are my terms. Public apologies, a restitution fund for victims like Iris, and a significant permanent donation to Havenwood. Absolutely not, Wade snaps. The board would never. Then I guess you haven't seen tomorrow's headline. I slide a newspaper proof across the table. Burke family's bloody hands reach local women's shelter. Father picks it up, face darkening. You wouldn't dare. Try me. I lean forward, voice soft. Let them crawl. $20 million? Wade's voice cracks. Are you out of your mind? I slide the contract across the conference table, enjoying how the morning light catches his sweat-sheened forehead. That's just the starting figure for the restitution fund. We haven't discussed Havenwood's annual endowment yet. Mother steps in, all silk and steel. Darling, be reasonable. We're offering you a chance to rejoin the family, to have a voice in... I have a voice, I interrupt. In fact, I have several recordings of voices. Would you like to hear them? I pull out my phone, tap the screen. A man's desperate voice fills the room. Please, Mr. Burke, my daughter needs surgery. You promised if I kept quiet about the chemical spill. Father lunges forward, but I snatch the phone away. That's just a sample. Fred Mackenzie has the full tapes. You remember Fred, the journalist who broke the Malaysia story? You've been working with that vulture, Wade snarls. I've been collecting receipts. I lean back. 5 years' worth. Mother's perfectly manicured nails drum the table. What exactly do you want, Scarlett? I told you, public apologies, the restitution fund, and Havenwood gets 30% of Burke Holdings' annual charitable giving budget. Permanently. That's corporate suicide, Father growls. No, that's karma. I stand, smoothing my skirt. You have 24 hours to decide. After that, Fred starts publishing. Wade slams his fist down. This is blackmail. This is business. I smile. Isn't that what you always taught me, Daddy? Use every advantage. The door opens and Nadine steps in, right on cue. Ms. Burke, your next appointment is here. Think it over, I tell them. Carefully. They file out, Father last. He pauses at the door. You've changed. No, I just stopped pretending to be who you wanted me to be. After they leave, Nadine grabs my arm. That was terrifying, and brilliant, and terrifying. They'll cave, I say, but my hands are shaking. They have to. Scarlett, she hesitates. I found something while going through the old company files you requested. She hands me a folder. Inside are emails from 5 years ago, the week before my exile. Wade's name is all over them. He fabricated evidence, I whisper, scanning the documents. Made it look like I was embezzling foundation money. That's why Father was so quick to... My phone buzzes. Text from an unknown number. Storage Unit 247, midnight. Come alone if you want the real story. Ah. Renee, I breathe. The family lawyer, the one person who knows every skeleton in every Burke closet. Don't tell me you're going, Nadine says. Of course I am. It's obviously a trap. Maybe. I tuck the folder away. But Renee knows things. Things that could... The door bursts open. Iris rushes in, pale. Turn on the news. Now. The TV flickers to life. Wade stands at a podium, mother and father flanking him. Deeply regret the pain our overseas operations have caused, he's saying, which is why Burke Holdings is proud to announce a historic partnership with Havenwood Women's Shelter. Those snakes, Nadine hisses. They're trying to control the narrative. But I'm smiling, because behind Wade's practiced sincerity, I see panic. They're playing right into my hands. Let them posture, I say. They just publicly committed to working with us. No backing out now. And the storage unit meeting. I check my phone. Another text. TikTok. Some secrets don't keep. Ah. I'm going. I grab my coat. Have Gillian draft a press release. Something about being cautiously optimistic about the partnership. Let them sweat. Be careful, Nadine calls as I leave. These people destroyed you once. I touch the scar on my cheek. No, they tried to destroy me. Now they get to see what I built from the ashes. Outside, storm clouds gather over the city. Perfect weather for family secrets to come to light. Storage Unit 247 smells like dust and old money. Renee emerges from the shadows, his expensive suit incongruous among the stacked boxes. You're either very brave or very foolish, he says, checking his watch. Did anyone follow you? Cut the dramatics. I cross my arms. What's this about? He pulls out a thick manila envelope. Your brother's been busy. These documents show where the bodies are buried, figuratively speaking, of course. Of course. I reach for the envelope, but he pulls back. First, you need to understand something. Wade didn't act alone 5 years ago. Someone inside Havenwood helped him set you up. My blood runs cold. That's impossible. Back then, it was just me and... My phone buzzes. Text from Nadine. Emergency. Someone leaked our donor list to the press. Get back here now. Renee's eyes narrow at my expression. Seems like history's repeating itself. I'm already running to my car. Havenwood is in chaos when I arrive. Gillian, our PR specialist, paces the lobby while reporters crowd outside. It's bad, she says, tablet in hand. Someone leaked confidential documents showing where our biggest donations came from, including some controversial sources. What controversial sources? She swipes through her tablet. Shell companies linked to arms dealers, money launderers. That's impossible, I snap. We vet every donation. The documents look real, Jillian says. Very real. My phone buzzes again. Wade. Ready to negotiate for real, sis? Nadine appears, looking haunted. Scarlett, we need to talk. Privately. In my office, she paces like a caged animal. Someone's been accessing our secure servers. For weeks. They have everything. Donor records, client files, financial reports. How? Internal login credentials. Someone with high-level access. The pieces click. You think we have a mole. I think... She's cut off by a knock. Iris enters, carrying a stack of papers. Sorry to interrupt, but you need to see this. Someone's been emailing confidential files to an outside address. Lots of files. I grab the papers. The sending address belongs to... Jillian. My voice sounds distant to my own ears. She's been here 3 months, right when the partnership talk started. Nadine's face hardens. Wade hired her, said she was the best in crisis management. She is. I pull up the email trail. At Creating Crises. My phone buzzes. Fred, media's going crazy with these leaks. Need comment ASAP. Another text follows. Wait again. Tick-tock, sis. Your move. I stand. Get me everything Jillian's accessed, every file, every email, and find her, now. But Iris is already shaking her head. She left 20 minutes ago, said she had a lunch meeting. With who? Your brother. I laugh, but there's no humor in it. Of course, he's trying to destroy Havenwood's reputation before we can damage his. What do we do? Nadine asks. I think of Renee's envelope still unopened. Of Wade's smirk 5 years ago. Of every woman who's found safety in these walls. We fight back. Iris, call Fred. Tell him I'm ready to go on record about everything. Nadine, start damage control with our donors and get me Jillian's personnel file. I want to know every skeleton in her closet. Scarlett, Nadine says softly, this isn't just about revenge anymore. These women trust us. If we lose their confidence, we won't. I pull up Wade's text. Because unlike my family, we actually protect our own. I type back, bad move, brother. You just declared war. His response is immediate. You started this. No, I whisper, thinking of that day 5 years ago. You did, and I'm going to finish it. Outside my office, phones ring constantly. Reporters shout questions through the front doors. Everything I've built teeters on the edge, but this time, I'm ready for them. This time, I know exactly who my enemies are. And this time, I'm not leaving without a fight. Got her. Iris bursts into my office, laptop in hand. Jillian's at the Riverside Hotel, meeting with Wade right now. I check my watch. Perfect timing. Is everything set? She nods. Fred's photographer is in position, and the fake documents you planted are exactly what Wade's looking for. I stand, grabbing my coat. Let's go catch a snake. The Riverside's lobby gleams with old-world luxury. Through the restaurant's glass walls, I spot them immediately. Wade and Jillian, heads bent close over drinks, looking like any other power lunch couple. I touch my earpiece. Everyone in position? Ready, Nadine confirms from her spot at the bar. Fred's people are covering all exits. I straighten my blazer and stride toward their table. Wade sees me first, his smirk freezing mid-sip. Hello, brother dear. Mind if I join you? Jillian jumps like she's been shocked. Scarlett, I was just... selling us out? I slide into the empty chair. Yes, I know. You don't understand, she starts, but I cut her off by sliding my phone across the table. On the screen, screenshots of every email she sent Wade, every file she leaked, every dollar he paid her. I understand perfectly. The question is... I lean forward. Do your other clients? Her face drains of color. What do you mean? Those confidential files you leaked today. They're fake, but the ones I just sent to every PR firm in the country, showing how you sell client secrets to the highest bidder, those are very real. Wade's hand tightens around his glass. You're bluffing. Check your phone. He does. His face goes from smug to shocked to furious as he scrolls. These are private conversations. Nothing's private anymore. I wave to Nadine, who approaches with a manila envelope. Just like those photos of you two meeting aren't private. The ones running in tomorrow's paper. On cue, a camera flash goes off outside the window. Fred's photographer, right on schedule. Gillian stands so fast her chair tips over. You set us up. No, I just played the game better. I open the envelope, pulling out documents. Now, about those real donor lists you were hoping to find. Scarlett, Wade warns, but I'm done listening to him. Our actual donors, all clean, vetted, legitimate. But these, I tap the papers, these show every dirty dollar that passed through Burke Holdings in the last decade. Every bribe, every kickback, every shell company. Where did you get those? His voice shakes. Renee sends his regards. Gillian grabs her purse. I'm leaving. Good idea. I smile. I hear Kazakhstan is lovely this time of year, and they don't extradite. She practically runs from the restaurant. Wade starts to stand, but I grab his wrist. Sit down, brother. We're not finished. What do you want? Everything. I release him. The board votes next week on the partnership terms. You're going to support them. All of them. Or what? You'll destroy the company? No. I stand, smoothing my skirt. I'll destroy you, personally. Every scheme, every betrayal, every secret you've buried, starting with what really happened 5 years ago. His face goes pale. You can't prove. Watch me. Outside, rain begins to fall. Through the glass, I see Nadine directing Fred's people, gathering evidence of the meeting, everything recorded, documented, preserved. You know what the difference is between us, I tell Wade. You learned business from our father. I learned it from survival. You've changed, he whispers, echoing father's words. No, I've evolved. I gather my things. The board meeting is Tuesday. Don't disappoint me. As I walk away, he calls out, What happened to you? The sister I knew would never... She died. I turn back one last time. The day you all killed her. In the lobby, Iris meets me with an umbrella. That was brutal. It was necessary. Was it? She touches my arm. Scarlett, I'm worried about you. This revenge, it's consuming you. I think of Gillian's betrayal, Wade's schemes, the weight of 5 years' worth of pain. No, I say softly. It's freeing me. But as we step into the rain, I wonder if there's a difference anymore. The press conference room buzzes with anticipation. Every major network is here. Cameras trained on the podium where my father stands, looking like he's swallowed glass. Today marks a new chapter, he reads from the prepared statement. Burke Holdings acknowledges its past failures and commits to a revolutionary partnership with Havenwood Women's Shelter. In the front row, Mother maintains her plastic smile while Wade seethes beside her. I stand off to the side, watching them perform like puppets on my strings. And now, Father continues, I'd like to introduce my daughter, Scarlett. The room erupts in camera flashes as I take the podium. 5 years ago, they wanted me silent. Today, they've given me a microphone. Thank you, Father. My voice carries clear and strong. 5 years ago, I stood in our family home and made a choice between profit and purpose. Today, I'm here to ensure no one has to make that choice again. I pull out the partnership agreement. Burke Holdings will dedicate 20% of its annual revenue to supporting abuse survivors. Additionally, we're establishing a $100 million restitution fund for victims of corporate negligence. Gasps ripple through the crowd. Wade's face turns purple. This wasn't in the approved script. Furthermore, I continue, locking eyes with my father, I'm announcing the creation of the Burke Havenwood Foundation, which will oversee workplace safety and ethics across all company operations. Mother's smile cracks. This is a coup, live on national television. Reporters shout questions. How will this affect shareholder value? Is this an admission of guilt? What prompted this dramatic change? I hold up my hand. One last announcement. Effective immediately, I will be joining the Burke Holdings Board of Directors, representing Havenwood's interests. The room explodes. Father grabs my arm, whispering furiously, "This wasn't part of the deal." The deal changed. I smile for the cameras. Just like you taught me. The rest of the press conference is chaos. Mother tries to spin it as her idea. Family values have always been our priority. While Wade storms out, already on his phone to the lawyers. Afterward, in a private conference room, my father explodes. "You've gone too far," he snarls. "The board will never accept." They already have. I slide another document across the table. While you were practicing your apology, I was meeting with the major shareholders. They're tired of scandals. They want change. This is blackmail. This is survival. I lean forward. You taught me that too. My phone buzzes. Text from Nadine. "Emergency. Wade's lawyers found something. Get back here now." "Excuse me," I tell my parents. Duty calls, but Mother blocks my path. "You think you've won? You think you can just walk in and take everything we built?" "No." I meet her gaze. "I'm building something better, on the ashes of what you destroyed." Back at Havenwood, Nadine paces my office. Wade filed injunctions. He's claiming the partnership agreement gives Burke Holdings partial control over Havenwood's operations. "What?" She hands me the legal documents. "There's fine print we missed. They can appoint board members, influence policies. They're trying to take over," I whisper, scanning the papers. "Turn Havenwood into their personal PR machine." My phone rings. Wade. "Surprised, sis?" He sounds smug again. "Did you really think we'd just roll over?" "You snake." "I learned from the best. Board meeting tomorrow. Better bring your A game." He hangs up. I slam the phone down, hands shaking. "What do we do?" Nadine asks. I think of Renee's envelope, still unopened in my desk. Of all the secrets still buried. Of how far I'm willing to go. "Get me Fred," I say. "And call Iris, we're going nuclear." "Scarlett," Nadine hesitates. "If we fight this, they could shut us down completely. All those women who need us. They won't shut us down." I pull out Renee's envelope. Because after tomorrow, there won't be a Burke Holdings left to fight. But as I reach for the seal, my hands tremble. Because this isn't just revenge anymore. This is war. Renee's office smells like leather and secrets. He pours 2 fingers of scotch, sliding one across his desk to me. "You haven't opened the envelope," he says. "I'm opening it now." My hands shake as I break the seal. "With you as my witness." Inside are photos, documents, and a single USB drive. As I spread them across his desk, Renee's face grows grave. "Your brother wasn't just embezzling," he says quietly. "He was systematically destroying evidence of criminal activity, including what happened 5 years ago." I pick up a photo. It shows Wade in Father's study, shredding documents. The timestamp matches the night before my exile. "He doctored Father's will," I whisper, reading the attached memo. "I was supposed to inherit controlling shares. He made sure that never happened." Keep reading. The next document makes my blood freeze. Bank transfers, shell companies, all leading to one transaction. A massive payment to the district attorney, who later buried investigations into Burke Holdings. "Wade authorized this?" "With your father's blessing." Renee takes a long drink. "But here's what they don't know. I kept copies of everything." My phone buzzes. "Nadine. Board meeting in 30 minutes. Where are you?" "I have to go." I gather the evidence. "Will you testify? I'm tired of carrying their secrets." He hands me another envelope. "This goes to the FBI if anything happens to either of us." The boardroom is packed when I arrive. Wade sits at Father's right hand, both of them radiating cold fury. Mother perches nearby, perfect as always. Now that we're all here, Father begins, let's discuss these ridiculous demands. Before we start, I interrupt, I have something to share. I connect the USB drive to the projector. Wade's face drains of color as the first document appears. 5 years ago, someone altered Father's will. My voice carries across the stunned silence. Someone who then orchestrated my removal from the company. Someone who's been embezzling funds and bribing officials ever since. These are lies, Wade stammers, but the evidence keeps coming. Bank records, emails, photos. The FBI has copies, I add. They're very interested in that payment to the DA. Mother stands abruptly. This meeting is adjourned. Sit down, Father barks. For the first time, he looks his age. Let her finish. I click to the final document. This is Father's original will, the real one. According to this, I own 40% of Burke Holdings, not Wade, me. The room erupts. Board members shout questions. Wade lunges for the USB drive, but Renee steps in, blocking him. It's over, brother. I meet his wild eyes. You lose. You'll destroy everything, he hisses. The company, the family. You did that. I turn to the board. I move to remove Wade from all positions immediately, pending criminal investigation. The vote is unanimous. As security escorts him out, Wade screams, "You're just like us, worse than us." Maybe he's right, but watching him leave, I feel nothing but hollow victory. Father approaches slowly, looking defeated. What do you want? Everything we discuss stays. The partnership, the foundation, all of it. But Havenwood remains independent. And Wade goes to jail. I gather my things. Unless, he signs over his shares to Havenwood's trust. Let some good come from his portion of the empire. Father's laugh is bitter. You really are my daughter. No. I head for the door. I'm what you made me. But I'm using it for something better. Outside, Nadine waits with Iris. Their faces tell me they've heard everything. Was it worth it? Nadine asks softly. I think of Wade's face as they led him away. Of Mother's crumbling facade. Of Father's defeated eyes. Ask me tomorrow. I check my phone. Dozens of missed calls from reporters. Right now, we have work to do. Where to? Iris asks. I think of all the women waiting at Havenwood, of the empire I've just claimed, of the power I now hold. Home, I say. We're going home, but as we leave, I wonder if I've won justice, or just a different kind of revenge. The Burke Holdings boardroom still intimidates, even from the head chair. Afternoon sun glints off the polished table where my father once reigned. Now he sits to my right, diminished but adapting. The restitution fund has processed over 300 claims, I tell the board, clicking through slides. Havenwood's new branches in 3 cities are exceeding projections. Mother isn't here. She's retreated to her country club, pretending none of this happened. Wade took the deal. He's serving community service at a women's shelter in Seattle. Poetic justice. Ms. Burke, my assistant pokes her head in. Nadine is here. I haven't seen her since she resigned last month, uncomfortable with how the lines between justice and vengeance had blurred. Meeting adjourned, I tell the board. Father lingers as others file out. Scarlett, he hesitates. You've done good work, better than I could have. It's the closest thing to an apology I'll ever get. I nod, watching him leave before calling Nadine in. She looks different, lighter somehow. Nice office. It's just a room. I gesture to a chair. How's the new shelter coming along? That's why I'm here. She sits, pulling out papers. We need funding. Real funding, not Burke money. You don't trust our money. I don't trust what it does to people. She meets my eyes. Look what it did to you. I did what was necessary. Did you? She leans forward. You won, Scarlett. You got everything. But at what cost? Before I can answer, Iris bursts in. Turn on the news. Now. The TV flickers to life. Wade stands outside his shelter in Seattle, speaking to reporters. Working here has opened my eyes. The damage our family caused. I can never fully make amends, but I'm trying. He seems different, Nadine muses. People can change. I turn off the TV. Even Burke's. Speaking of change, Iris hands me a folder. The latest numbers from Havenwood. We're turning away women every day. We need more space. I study the reports, thinking of all the lives touched, all the stories yet to be told. What if we did something bigger? How much bigger? I pull up blueprints on my laptop. A nationwide network, independent shelters, fully funded, but free from corporate control. No strings, no PR games, just help for those who need it. That would take millions, Nadine says. Good thing I own 40% of a multi-billion-dollar company. I smile. No Burke strings attached. A separate foundation, run by people I trust. People like us? Iris asks. People exactly like us. I turn to Nadine. You were right, about what the money does. That's why I need you both. To keep me honest, to remember why we started this. Nadine studies me for a long moment. The old Scarlet's back, isn't she? No. I touch the scar on my cheek. Someone better. My phone buzzes. Father. Dinner tonight. Your mother asks about you. 5 years ago, that message would have broken me. Now it's just words. I text back. Can't. Board meeting for the new foundation. Maybe next week. So? I look at Nadine and Iris. Are you in? Iris grins. Always. Nadine sighs, but she's smiling. Someone has to keep you from turning into your father. Never. I stand, looking out over the city. He built an empire on broken lives. We're building something else. What's that? Hope. I turn back to them, one room at a time. Later, alone in my office, I find an old photo in my desk. The day they threw me out, captured in a newspaper clipping. I look so young, so broken. I pin it to my wall, not as a reminder of pain, but of purpose. Below it, I hang a new photo, the first Havenwood graduation ceremony. Women with restored dignity, restored lives. My phone buzzes again. A text from Wade. Thank you for the second chance. I don't respond. Some bridges stay burned, but others you rebuild stronger than before. Outside my window, the sun sets on the city. Somewhere out there, women are finding shelter, finding strength, finding themselves. That's my real legacy. Not revenge, not power. Just the simple truth that sometimes being broken lets the light in. And sometimes that light changes everything.